Hello friends, welcome to the session. Today we will discuss European thought 1 and the personality we are going to discuss is Augustine. If a war is fought for a long-term peace, then the war is just. The war is justifiable. This was the political idea provided by the Augustine in the medieval political thought, and we have not still find a thinker, a political thinker, whose studies, whose works, which have been forget in the past, but which are so much relevant in the present. Saint Augustine, his lifespan is being considered from the period 354 to 430 CE, originally named as Aurelius Augustinus. Friends, one thing you have to keep in your mind is this, that Augustine was not totally dedicated to political discourses. None of his work has been totally focused on the political thinking or social thinking. It was actually the mixture. His work was the mixture of how the sociological thinking of a king, of a citizen of a country, or of the soldiers, or of the generals, the leaders, how their thinking affects the political scenario of a country. He has produced more than 110 works over a period of 30 years. And by wide acclamation, the first Christian philosopher. This is very important. He is being considered as the first Christian philosopher. And because he was having the very we can say, diversified background, and he observed the society from a very distance point of view, from a very vantage point. That is why he was so much able to think out of the box. Okay, the scope, the quantity, and the quality of his work established him as the most influential Western philosopher. The quotes of Augustine, you can still hear the quotes provided by the Augustine in many of the contemporary movies, in many of the literary works. Many contemporary political thinkers or sociological thinkers still quote Augustine while providing their political or sociological idea. So, as I already told you, he provided his views on very diversified points, and some of them were the sin, grace, freedom, sexuality, in Western culture can hardly be overrated. So much of work he has been provided that we cannot underestimate any of his work. He vigorously opposed the 20th and 21st century from various standpoints. We can study the ideas provided by the Augustine for a very long span, and still they are relevant. Whatever the idea in the political thought topic, we study many points like humanism, liberalism, feminism. The basis of these ideas were provided in the studies of the Augustine. And one of the most famous work was the Confessions. Is an ancient literary tradition, but influenced the modern tradition of autobiography. Confessions mean one confess whatever he did in his whole life. He actually confessed that, yes, I did that was wrong, that was right. And that work of Augustine, the Confession, is still influencing the modern writers which are dealing in the field of writing autobiography, that how one can confess his sins, grace, freedom, whatever the instances occurred in his life, he can get an idea from the work of Augustine, that is the Confession. Because of his importance, the philosophical tradition of the Middle Ages, he is often listed as the first medieval philosopher or first Christian philosopher. Now, the views of Augustine about skepticism and certainty. One of the oldest surviving work of Augustine is about skepticism is Contra Academicos, or we can say De Academicis. He wrote it at the beginning of his career as a Christian philosopher, and in order to save himself, his readers from the despair means the agony sort of thing, that would have resulted if it could not be proven that skepticism is a challenge for himself that people are themselves disappointing in nature. Because they are skeptic about the things, they are not able to see the things in totality. They are not able to attain the truth, the knowledge and the wisdom which is hidden behind something. But because they are skeptic in nature, because they are not able to see the things in totality, holistically, they are not able to attain the true knowledge out of it. So Augustine established that there has to be wide views about the things. You should not see things from a very single point of view. Okay. And his views were not like the modern day anti-skepticals. Okay. The modern day anti-skepticals are also skeptic in some way. He was a total liberal, we can say, and the modern idea of liberalism, the modern idea of toleration, somehow we can say the roots can be found in this work of Augustine. Now the certainty. He provided that because the people are themselves not certain about the things, that is why they always see the things as uncertain. Once you become certain about anything and you try to provide your full efforts, and you should not get succumb to any opinion, to any inbox thinking. Okay, you should remain certain. You should not see the things in a narrow way. You should be wide. Then you can definitely attain the truth, the knowledge and the wisdom which is hidden behind everything. Okay, so these were the idea of Augustine about skepticism and certainty. As I already told you, the roots of the modern day political or sociological thinking can be found in this very idea, as I already told you about the liberalism or anti-skepticism. Now the foundational and political and social concepts of Augustine. There were three things very important: two cities, justice and the state, church and the state. In the two cities concept, Augustine provided that there are two cities. One is the city of God and one is the city of common man, the city of temporal powers. People who are doing their best in the temporal power city, the city of common people, who are best in this city, still are not able to transfer themselves to the city of God, because that is the city which is ultimate, that is the truth, that is the most pure thing. And any person living in this worldly, involved in these worldly matters, who is living in this temporal world, cannot attain. But still, everyone has the responsibility to raise this city, this temporal power city, to the city of God. Okay. Now the justice and the state, obviously he pointed out that justice is the foundation state of any stone. Until and unless a king cannot prevail justice, that king cannot withstand with the state. Okay. Church and the state, like many other theories, the churches and the state have their own way. Like the theory of two swords, you have must have read. The church has the sword of the religious matters, and the state, the kingship, has the sword of temporal matters, and they are supplementary to each other. Church and the state are supplementary to each other, but the church can interfere in the matters of a state. Church can guide the king to move in some matter, but king should not interfere in the matters of the papacy. The king should not interfere in the matters of church. So these were the foundational political thought. And because he is being considered as the first medieval thinker, we can say the Christian political philosopher, his views were, we can say, substantiated by many other theories which were propagated by different political thinkers after him. Okay. Now the most important concept, and which will be very interesting for you also, and the student of warfares, the leaders who are going to lead the country, the military men, the generals, the colonels, they study these this study of Augustine, the war and peace, because no one wants war, nobody wants destruction, but still a man who is serving his country on the war front, his mind may be shuffled with the thoughts like this: whether I should kill this man, whether I should drop the bomb on this submarine, thousands of people going to kill, whether I should launch missile on this particular city, thousands of innocent, including the military men, thousands of the civilians are going to die. Then how he will make decision, how he will make ethical decisions? Then the Augustine provide the answer to this question. He said that if the war is for a long-term peace, then that war is just. Okay? It is the decision of the Almighty God that because He wants long-term peace, that is why this war has been happened. And this theory somehow substantiated, somehow strengthened by the world wars in the 20th century. There was a long-term conflict in whole of the Europe, and that conflict has been, we can say, has been stopped. It has been brought to a peace with the two world wars. It takes two world wars to happen to establish a long-term peace. Otherwise, the short conflicts, the cold wars, the agony between the civilians of different countries, it may have occurred for a very long time. So this is the idea of Augustine, very important idea, and the leaders of modern day world, whether the leaders of our country or other countries who are dealing in the matters of warfare, who are military personnel, who are leading their military might, they study this topic very, very closely, because it gives them an idea that how you can make ethical decision unless you are in a war position. Okay, so this is very important. You should also, the just war, as I was telling you, they can hope for just wars rather than unjust ones. There should be wars, but there are the rules of the war. Okay. For Augustine, the just war is a coping mechanism for use by the righteous who aspire to citizenship in the city of God. Okay? Justice war, jus ad bellum. The notion of jus ad bellum. It is very important. Now, some of the important questions which can be asked from you. Much of the writings of Augustine were devoted to define the political philosophies of his predecessors. This question can be asked from you, and the answer is no. Augustine did not define, did not try to establish any political philosophy. He was just a mixture of everything. Whether the feminism, whether the liberalism, whether the war, peace, skepticism, sexuality in the Christian society, he was a mixture. Okay? So he was not defining anything. He was just we can say, the father of political thinking. Augustine considered the king as the perfect man and the ambassador of God on earth to handle the earthly matters. We can say the king of Augustine is not a flawless man. The king can also make wrong decisions, but he established that those decisions are still the will of God. Okay? Yes, he is the ambassador of God, and he is here to handle the earthly matters. But he can make wrong decisions which should be corrected. Okay? So friends, that's all for the lecture. Thank you very much.